It's 17th of September. It's just afternoon. I I stopped off here just momentarily. I'm on my way to Tomintoul, a place I've not been to for 40 years. So I'm up there for the weekend. The last time I was there in September '82, I was sitting having my dinner, looked out the window, and I said to the waitress, it's snowing. And she didn't seem that surprised about the whole affair. But to me, it was quite amazing. September and about 6 inches of snow. You know, these big dollops that you get with snowflakes. And it was very, very wintry for mid-September. So I remember running at Pitlochry Highland Games, and that was my last meet of the year. And I said to I'd already booked holidays from my work, and I said to my coach, I says, I'm away for a week or something. I'm away hitching around Scotland. So I ended up going from Tomintoul to Skye. I remember arriving in Crieff and meeting a couple of girls who asked me to come over to their place at Crieff on Skye. And at that time there was no Skye Bridge, of course. It was a ferry. So I'm sure I'm pronouncing it Crieff or Crieff. So we sailed from Crieff over to Crieff, and so I'm enjoying their company. And I said, I better get the ferry back over. She said, well, you won't get that till the morning. I said, you're bloody joking, because I'd booked into the hotel. But I think that was the plan, actually, get me to stay with them for the night. So that all worked out well. So because I didn't have to go back over to the mainland, I just decided to go down to Armadale and then over to Mallaig. So I think that was the first, it was the first time I was been in Mallaig was September '82. And so I can remember all the old roads before they were done up and stuff. But anyway, I'm not going to blather too much, but that's my direction today is Tomintoul. I did load yesterday. I've probably not put it on YouTube, but this was almost gridlocked at some stages with the amount of traffic. And I obviously worked out there was been an accident on the A9, and sadly there was a fatality. So it was down at Dunkeld, so that's such a shame. Really, really quite heartbreaking when you hear about these things. So this road was chocker for several hours yesterday. So was my the hometown of Crieff. It was absolutely chocked with traffic. You know, the diversions and stuff. But I've stopped in here just to say to my friend the birch tree, and get a blessing for the journey north. It's a long journey, but I'm not in any rush. So I'm going to stop either at Ballinluig for something to eat, or maybe Newtonmore. I'll see how I feel. And then I'll go up past Abbeymoor and take it over to Granton and Spey, and then over to Tomintoul. So, I mean, I've plenty of time, but I'll try and get there for 4 o'clock or 4:30ish. I'm not in any rush. I tell you 100 times a day. Look, I just arrived in Newtonmore Cafe. Push that away, Andrew, for goodness sake. Look, just this very second arrived. I'm just about to have a cigarette, and I looked at my watch, 10 to 2, without fail. It's absolutely unbelievable. I wish somebody would believe me. Well, I've just arrived in Tomintoul at my accommodation. But before I give you a swing around, because I'll probably do a wee bit of this tomorrow. It's a bit cloudy, so there's no sunshine for the camera. But 10 to 2 today, but can you imagine after putting up that, what do you call it, YouTube load yesterday, I think it was, yesterday morning, about the infinity symbol, or number 8 as I call it. Guess what number my room is? You're not going to tell me that that is coincidence. That is synchronicity at its best. It's absolutely amazing. So you don't think I'm trying to kid you on. Here's my stuff. Here's my key. Room 8. Must have seen room number 8 written in letters. But that is amazing, isn't it? quite a bright room, not bad. I was just talking to the woman. I said to her, I can hear a bit of Afrikaans in your accent. She goes, wow, how can you tell? I said, I used to go out with a girl from Cape Town for quite a while. Not in Cape Town, she was in the UK. And she lived in a place called Fishhook on the where the Indian Ocean meets the Atlantic, South Atlantic. So the woman was quite interested in what I was talking about. And then I said to her that I'd been in a film called One Last Chance with Dougray Scott and Ian Robertson and other actors and actresses. And she had never heard of it. I said, well, most people haven't because it was never really put to cinema or television. It was kind of like a tax break, I think. I'm sure that's the way they used to operate back in the early 2000s. Tax breaks for making movies, but it was a great movie. I've got a couple of DVD copies. I said to her I might send her one if she can't get a copy. She was absolutely fascinated by it. I only arrived and I started talking about that. But how's my bathroom? Tomintoul's quite, oh look, it's quite lovely, isn't it? Tomintoul's a very, very quiet place. Very cold place as well. What kind have we got here? Call of Lewis. So you always tell what kind of clientele comes into these hotels by the toiletries that are on display. Well, it looks comfortable enough, that bread. Why should you give me two beds? Why don't you just give me a double instead of a twin? I'll maybe make use of that, put two together, eh? Nah, only joking. Yeah, I think the room looks much better when the curtains are half closed. That's my up and down friend's curtains. The ones I gave her years ago. Yeah, so I was telling the woman that the movie One Last Chance was originally meant to be called The Bum's Rush. And they changed the name for obvious reasons. It sounded a bit pornographic for some odd reason. It was also made famous for the fact that I'll not give you his name, but one of the actors was arrested while they were filming. I was close by when the incident occurred, but I didn't witness it. But one of the other actors did witness it. But anyway, I'm not mentioning any names, but they were acquitted of the charge of assault. And it was quite a bizarre day all in, because we couldn't continue filming on certain sequences because the actor was in custody. Anyway, this is quite a nice room, isn't it? I'm sure you agree. You don't want to see the toilet, Christ. There's my jotter for calculating my, what do you call it, numerology. Anyway, I'm just back from my meal. That was a fucking great meal. Oh, I really recommend that place called the Richmond in Tomintoul. Honestly, it was like, I felt like, I don't know if you've ever seen it. I borrowed the umbrella. They waitresses think I'm completely mental. I insisted I borrow the umbrella because it was pissing the rain. I came out and it was fucking bone dry. Well, it stopped raining, that's another way of putting it. So I just come back over. What did I come back over for? Oh yeah, my jacket. In case it does rain, I'm out for a couple of beers. So my head's all over the place. It was such good food. I think you ever seen the Monty Python film, The Meaning of Life? That probably's not mine. I better go back, but I think I've taken it for good. My brain's all hyper. It's such a fun meal. Yeah, Meaning of Life with John Cleese when he's serving, what's his name, Mr. Creosote. And Mr. Creosote is this, you have to look this one up in YouTube, please. Mr. Creosote, that's all. This, as it sounds, creosote, like in the stuff that you paint at fences. and it's one of these Edwardian, I think it's meant to be a cruise ship or certainly fine dining, and everybody's kitted out in bow ties and the best of gear, either Edwardian or 1920s, either or. But what a horrible colour, like Dora's, eh? And then, what am I talking about? And John Cleese is, insisting he eats more, and he's saying he's stuffed. He's had so many cases of beer and he's eating everything. And this guy is absolutely massive. And I won't spoil it. But anyway, John Cleese offers him one, convinces him he should take an after 8 mint, one of these, well, it wasn't after 8 mints at that time, but it was a slithery chocolatey mint. And it's just too much for Mr. Creosote's stomach. It's fucking mental, like. I think there's two versions. One's been edited, it's just too coarse, but you might get them on YouTube. Try it out anyway. But yeah, so I was came out of the restaurant area. I didn't want to take a photograph of the clock because it was on the reception and there's cameras. But the time I come across the road, it's 8:30, isn't it? Anyway, it was 8:20. So I'm trying to tell you that every time I keep seeing these clock faces, but I'm not going to bore you because it's just too much. Right, I better get back over the road with that brolly. I'm going to have a couple of pints in that place. I might go to a couple others. People are so friendly here, man. It's just great. But already these two girls and the waitresses, I think, what the fuck, this guy's a bit mad. Just my style. I think they find that it's. I mean, it's kind of unusual. I think there's an attraction there. I think what I'm trying to say is there's a certain attraction about my mannerisms that I think people find quite warming. I think they find I've got quite a unique style, and I think they find it. Yeah, as I say, I don't mean they're attracted to me. I don't mean that at all. I just mean that they find my mannerisms attractive. That's what I mean. Anyway, I'm going over the road.